Hi guys, what's up? It's your girl Precious back again with another review of the haves and the have-nots. So this is season 4, episode 2, and without further ado, let's get into the review. This episode opens up with Veronica and Kathryn with the knife. So Kathryn has the knife in her possession. She is waving it around. She's trying to cut Veronica. Veronica is bobbing and weaving. Veronica, gets out of Kathryn's hole. She tries to run to the door, but the door is locked. She goes up the steps. She's still trying to run away from her. She's telling her, you need to pay for this. She's like, I'm not going to pay today. Veronica's apologizing. It's just a big mess. So once they get up the steps, I think Veronica loses her footing or whatever, so now she's sitting on the steps. Kathryn is still after her with the knife. Veronica ends up cutting Kathryn's arm, like, I guess, in the tussle of the knife. And so then Kathryn gets cut on her arm, and she's like, oh. And she kind of drops a little bit. And after Veronica sees her, dropped a little bit, Veronica kick her ass down the steps like, boop, bitch. Get your ass off me. Okay. So then it gets switched over to Jeffrey and Wyatt in the hospital. So Wyatt's waking up and he's like, oh, Al, he's got his little aches or pains or whatever. So Jeffrey's like, oh, you need me to get a doctor. You need something for your head, whatever. So he's like, no. Just chill. He was like, well, oh, who were you talking about on the phone? And Jeffrey's like, I wasn't talking about anybody on the phone. What you talking about? He was like, yeah, you were talking to somebody on the phone. And he's like, no. And so just doing small talk about that or whatever. And then it goes over to Wyatt wants to leave now. So Jeffrey's like, no, you can't leave. You have to stay in the hospital. You have to get better. He's like, no, I'm leaving out of here one way or another, with your help or without. I am gone. Jeffrey gets a phone call and he says he has to take it, steps out the room. It's a phone call from Candace. Candace is on the phone like, hey, what's up? Jeffrey tells her, that the police are at her house, that they're searching, all this and all that. And so Candace is telling Jeffrey, it's your mom, it's her fault, she's doing this. And then Jeffrey's like, no, my mom said she didn't do this. And she's like, well, how can you trust her? And he's like, because I know my mom, I know when she's telling the truth, whatever. So then Candace gets kind of spooked with this conversation with Jeffrey, because Jeffrey starts to say, well, you killed Quincy, this and that. And then Candace is kind of spooked. She's like, well, why is he saying I killed Quincy and all this? So she begins to think that the phone is tapped. So she starts acting weird and like going to another call or whatever she was doing with her damn phone in the car. Jeffrey tells her, I'm not setting you up. What is the plan? So after she calms down a little bit, she's like, what do you mean, what's the plan? He was like, you just like my mama. Y'all always got some type of plan, scheming. What is the next move, girl? Because we is in hot water. So then Candace asks him, well, how long has the police been at my house? He says he don't know. And she says, well, how did you know they were here? And he goes, Justin, which is AKA police booty. So she's like, well, how can you trust him? And he's like, well, I mean, I guess it's the only thing we got. So after that, she starts to think, she says, oh yeah, isn't Justin one of those, he doesn't want anybody to know that he's gay? Isn't he married? Some old type of stuff like this. Do anything before the world finds out that he's gay type of dude. And Jeffrey's like, I guess that's what he is. So then Candace says, great, that's in our favor. So now she's trying to think and plot and think of a plan. So the next scene is Hannah. Hannah is with little Quincy. They're washing dishes. And then she sends him up the steps, and now she's talking to Benny. She gives Benny an address of a hotel that she says, we can go to. It's not nice. It ain't, fancy, whatever. We're going to have to share a room. But it's at least we have some place over our head. And he's like, what? I'm not going to a hotel. Candace is going to bring the money. And Hannah, she thinking like, yeah, you're damn fool again. But she doesn't address that right off. She starts to tell him, well, I'll get a job. Maybe we can scrape up for 2 or 3 weeks to stay there, whatever. Benny's still saying, Candace is coming. Candace got the money. And she's like, I keep on thinking, that I can sell something, but I don't have nothing to sell, in hopes of getting money. And so she's still ignoring the fact that Benny is over there talking about Candace is coming. And so Hannah's like, well, I'm going upstairs to pack. Me and Quincy, we going to a hotel. What I got left is up there in the stairs in the closet. And them people ain't coming to take the little bit I do have left. Then the scene changes, and now we are with David and his little girl toy, Erica. they're just talking and chatting, and she's telling him, you seem distracted. It must be your soon-to-be ex-wife that's distracting you, and all this and all that. And now she is trying to get in his head, trying to get more information about her. And he's like, no, I don't know you well enough to tell you about her. And then, so he does eventually tell her a few things here and there about Veronica, but like surface type of stuff. Then the scene changes once again, and now we are with David and Oscar. Oscar comes over to David's home. So David has this new house, which is one of his rental properties or some type of home. Oscar comes in the house with a little bandage on his little eye or whatever. And he's like, oh, what happened to you? And remember from last episode, Candace was whooping his ass with that pipe. And so he just tells him, oh, no, I just lost the fight or whatever. He didn't go into depth or whatever about the fight. And so while they're chit-chatting or whatever, David gets the phone call. He's like, oh, I have to take this phone call. And he was like, oh, Oscar was like, oh, I'll see my way out. So on the phone is Jim. Jim's calling from jail again. And he's like, well, why haven't you gotten out of jail yet? He's like, I've been trying to get up with the judge, but he is unavailable right now. He's like, well, you need to hurry up and get me out of here and go by Kathryn, to go by my house and see what Kathryn is doing, because I've been trying to get up with her. She's not answering the phone. I don't know what's going on with Kathryn. So swing by my house, see and check on Kathryn and see if everything's cool with her. And don't forget to get me and Ward out of this jail. So then the scene changes again, and now we're at Benny's toe shop. I can't think of the dude's name right now that works with Benny at the toe shop. He's at the shop, and then he looks out the window. There's another guy out there with his little clipboard, and he appears to be doing something. So he goes out there to check it out. The guy tells him, I'm counting cars. I've been sent by the judge to count these cars, by the courts or whatever he says, to count these cars. And he's like, well, you should know what's going on, Mr. Young. He's like, well, I'm not Mr. Young. And then he goes, well, I can't talk to you in depth about what's going on then. Well, you need to go get in contact with Mr. Young then if you need details. He goes inside of the tow yard, calls Benny, asks Benny what's going on, what's up. Benny's like, gosh, these people are trying to, take me for all I'm worth or something like that. He tells him, and then he tells him like, what does he tell him? Oh, he says, well, just get your truck and get it out of there then. Since, your truck don't have anything to do with the tow yard, that's your truck or whatever. He was like, well, just get your truck out of there so they don't take your truck. And he was like, well, we'll talk about it later. Just come over here at the house where I'm at, and I'll tell you about things, and I'll tell you what's going on. So old dude goes back out into the tow yard to try to drive his truck away, and the dude that was sent by the court is out there. He's like, no, I can't let any cars leave from this yard. And he's like, well, that's my truck. They don't have anything to do with Benny or this tow yard. That's my truck. And he's like, well, I've just been, the courts told me not to let nothing go past here, so I can't. And if you move it, you're going to jail. He goes, well, okay then. I asked you to move your car. You don't move it. So he backs over it, pushes the man's little car all the way out of the driveway of the building and leaves. The dude's like, oh my God, oh my gosh. And he get ready to call the police, I'm guessing. I don't know what he called him. So then the scene changes again, and now we're with Candace. So Candace is outside of her house, and then there's a police officer over there comes over talking to her or whatever, and Quincy's sister, is over there on the sidewalk, and she's yelling these things about, what happened to my brother, what's going on, I know you did something to my brother. And the police officer is just standing there, and Candace is asking the police officer, why are you guys at my house? I'm the homeowner. What are y'all doing? What are y'all looking for to do? The police officer gives Candace the warrant, and it says something about searching for things connected to a homicide. And Candace is like, homicide? What are you talking about? What? She's playing real dumb. And she's like, well, I'm a law student, so I hope y'all saw them law books in there while y'all was up in there, and I know my rights. And so Quita is still over there on the sidewalk. She yelling stuff, talking about, like I said, you did something to my brother. I know that he was here, and all this other type of stuff. And then Candace basically tells her, Quita, you keep on, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Pretty much what she tells her. And then Quita's like, well, come on then. Quita is like, yeah, you did something to my brother. And then Candace tells her, well, I saw a few rocks over there on the ground. Go see if you can smoke them. Bitch, I'm dead. She told the girl to go see if she could smoke them. And she said, I hope y'all ain't over here searching my house and all this other type of stuff off the word of this addict. She's calling Quita an addict. And, asking the officer, are y'all taking her word? Because she's an addict and she is not a credible witness or whatever she trying to be. And Quita got herself over there talking about how my brother did this for you, my brother was there for you, my brother took care of you, my brother this, my brother that. And Candace is like, girl, you have no idea. So then the scene changes again, and now we're inside of Candace's home, where you see police booty shutting the door like to the little patio door on the side, and he's telling his his colleagues, oh, Captain wants you to search upstairs, because outside of the patio is outside, and that's the backyard of Candace's house, and that is where Quincy is buried. So he's trying to protect the crime scene or whatever, and tell them, oh, yeah, Captain will say go search upstairs or whatever. And so then he gets a phone call, and it's from Jeffrey. Jeffrey's asking, how things are going, and letting him know that Candace is on the way, or Candace should already be there, or whatever. Now police booty is looking for Candace. And so he goes outside, and he plays dumb, and he sees the officer that was once talking to Candace and Quita over there. He sees him, he goes, oh, is that the homeowner? He playing dumb too. And he goes, yeah, well, let me go over here and talk to her. He goes, oh, okay, whatever. So he goes over there to talk to her, and Candace is over here, talking big shit like, yeah, ain't you the one? I remember you. You did this to Jeffrey, and you did that to Jeffrey, and just bringing up, his past or whatever. And dude is like, police booty is like, I came over here to help you. And she's like, oh, you want to help? You better make sure they don't find nothing in that backyard. And then he's like, well, if you want my help, you're going to have to shut your damn mouth. And then Candace is like, well, if you don't want me to expose your ass, you're going to have to go in there and protect that crime scene and make sure that they don't find that body in the backyard. So, they're going back and forth and back and forth. And pretty much they both telling each other, this don't look good for you without me. Pretty much what they're trying to tell each other. Then the scene changes again. So now we are in the jail with Jim and War. So War is over there. He's all riled up, and he's talking to Jim like, I thought we were getting out of here. Why are we still in here? Like, we need to get out of jail. We need to do this. We need to do that. I can't believe she set me up. I can't believe she put them drugs in my car. And Jim is pretty much mocking him like, oh, I can't believe she set me up. I can't believe she did this. Like, he's pretty much telling him, chill out, dude. If I said I'm going to get you out of jail, I'm going to get you out. And so now this is the last scene of this episode, and that is back where we began, with Kathryn and Veronica. So now Veronica is walking down the steps, stepping over Kathryn, who she done kicked down the steps. Now she's stepping over her. She's going to the door. She's trying to get out. At the door still locked. She's looking for a key, what it seems to be. She doesn't find anything. She's trying to get out of the house, and now Kathryn's over there moving. Now Kathryn's getting up, and she's like, well, Kathryn, you done kept me in this house all day. Now let me go. Just let me go. And she's like, well, leave then. Get out. Get out. And she was like, the door, the door's still locked. And she keeps referring to her like, get your ass out the window then, bitch. I told you that before. And she's like, I'm not going out no window. And then Veronica is over here trying to ask Kathryn if she okay. Kathryn, are you okay? Are you alright? Kathryn is still talking to her, and she still has that knife pointed in the direction of Veronica. And so Kathryn tells her, I would never be okay after what you did to my son. So then Veronica's like, I'm sorry. And then the last scene of this episode is when David walks into the door. And I'm going to show you guys what happens from that scene on. With my new thing is I'm going to have, with every episode, I'm going to do a scene of the day, which is the scene of the episode that I really liked or I enjoyed or stuck out to me the most, or whatever the case may be. And with this episode, the last scene was, very important to the plot and very important to what is going to happen next week. So I picked that for the scene of the day, and I will show you guys that scene. And after that scene, you guys, that is the end of the video, and I thank you guys so much for watching, for rocking with your girl, for sticking tuned, for watching this review the whole way through. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe, and go and check out some of my other older videos if you haven't already. And let's talk down below in the comments, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think is going to happen next week, what you liked about this episode. Just chat with me down in the comments down below. So, I'll see you guys next week for episode 3. Bye, guys.
Help me, please. Please help me. Please help me. Help me, please. Help me. Help me.
Next on The Haves and the Have-Nots.
Stay away from me and I'll
Or maybe getting out.
When is he getting out?
You know that he thinks that you set him up.